What's up, everybody? Today is finally the day. The DLC is upon us. Depending on what platform you're playing, you're possibly playing it at this moment. And if you're one of those lucky ones, I envy you. I'll be starting at 6 p.m. Eastern on the PC. But there's also some very interesting patch notes that just dropped. And this patch is live for all Elden Ring players, even if you don't have the DLC. So let's take a look. Alright, so first, they added support for Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. There's 5 new hairstyles that have been added to the game. They can be selected during character creation using the Clouded Mirror Stand or using Renala's Rebirth feature. They added a map function menu to the map menu. There's new summoning pool features. Active summon pools will now be carried over to New Game Plus. That makes a lot of sense. Individual summon pools can now be enabled, disabled in the newly added map functions menu. Once again, a great quality of life feature. If include distant areas is selected when using the small golden effigy, summoning pools within the Mogwin Palace will not be selected for summoning even if you have activated them. If you are within the Mogwin Palace and select nearby only, when using the small golden effigy, you will be able to be summoned within the area. New inventory features. Newly obtained items will be marked with an exclamation point. A new tab called Recent Items has been added to review recently obtained items. I think that's an amazing quality of life improvement because so many times you pick up something and you quickly click the triangle and then you have no idea what you just picked up and it takes forever to find it in your inventory. Display settings can now be changed from the display tab menu in the system menu. Added a new feature to summon Spectral Steed during the Elden Beast boss battle. We'll talk about that towards the end because I have a lot to say about that. Added a new feature to the Colosseum. Crafted consumable items that have been used during a battle will be replenished at the end of your session, and added support for Arabic language. Now we have the Steam only new features, and it says new keyboard and mouse setting, added a lock-on change threshold setting of mouse controls, added a setting to change cursor movement behavior in the map menu, and added key assignments to open the map in the key settings menu. So next are the PvP exclusive balance adjustments. So this does not affect single player or co-op. Weapon adjustments. After being affected by madness and or sleep status effects, the status effect buildup will be halted for a short period of time. That's a good idea so you can't spam madness. Increase the poise damage of some attacks against other players of the following weapon types: great swords, colossal swords, curved great swords, great axes, hammers, flails, great hammers, colossal weapons, great spears, halberds. Adjusted poise damage of some dual wield attack against other players by the following weapon types: great swords, axes, great axes, hammers, great hammers, halberds, reapers. Increase poise damage against other players from dual wielding of the following weapon types: axes, hammers, halberds, reapers. Increase poise damage of axes against other players. Decrease the damage of dual wield attack against other players of all weapon types. Decrease the poise damage of some attacks against players of the following weapon types: spears and great spears. Decrease the damage animation motion of the following weapon types when another player is stunned by a two-handed heavy running attack, and that only applies to the fists and the claws. Decrease the effects of the Baldachin blessings and Radiant Baldachin blessings to increase the poise value and physical damage negation in PvP. Alright, next are the skill adjustments. Keep in mind that this is still PvP only changes. You have Spinning Slash, decreased damage, Flaming Strike, decreased damage, Rain of Arrows, decreased damage and poise damage, Cursed Blood Slash, decreased damage, Transient Moonlight, decreased damage, Lightning Storm, decreased poise damage, Spear Call Ritual, decreased poise damage, Ancient Lightning Spear, decreased damage, Radahn's Rain, decreased damage and poise damage, and Spinning Weapon, decreased damage animation motion when stunning other players. Once again, still in the PvP category, the incantations adjustments are only 2 spells: Black Flame's Protection, decreased physical block rate, and Bestial Sling, decreased poise damage. Alright, next we have the general balance adjustments. The adjustments in this section will affect both PvE and PvP aspects of the game. Adjusted turning speeds when using dual-wielded heavy thrusting swords. Increased dexterity scaling when assigning Ashes of War with corresponding weapon affinities. Increased stamina consumption when guarding against attacks of the following types: Greatsword, Curved Greatswords, Great Axes, Great Hammers. Increase the speed of some attacks of the following types: Axes, Great Axes, Hammers, Flails, Reapers. Increase the damage of charge attacks of the following types: Axes, Great Axes, some Colossal Weapons. Increase the turning speed of normal attacks of the Reaper weapon type. Increase the weapon damage of the whips, except the Umi whip. Increase the speed of consecutive attacks of the following weapon types: light bows, long bows. That's amazing. Increase the poise damage of the Torches weapon type. Increase the duration of the effect of Mohg's Great Rune that increases attack power when a bleeding status effect is triggered by a nearby summoned spirit. Decrease the heal amount reduction from a flask of Crimson Tears and increase the heal on attack effect when using Melania's Great Rune. Increase the attack power of arrows, great arrows, bolts, and great bolts that can be crafted through item crafting. Also, it says decrease the turning speed of dual-wielded weapons for the following types: spears and great spears. Decrease poise generation speed during some attacks of the following types: great spears, halberd spears. Decrease the effect that increases the power of spells of Terra Magica. Decrease the effect duration of the Cerulean Hidden Tear. Alright, now we're in the armament adjustments. Troll Knight Sword, increase damage. Zamor Curved Sword, increase damage, increase movement distance of some attacks. Forked Hatchet, increase damage. Ripple Blade, decrease the status buildup enhancement that scales with the arcane attribute. Serpent Hunter, increase the speed of crouching attack. Ripple Crescent Halberd, decrease the status buildup enhancement that scales with the arcane attribute. Albinaric Staff, increase the attribute scaling. Gelmir Glintstone Staff, increase the attribute scaling. And Prince of Death Staff, increase the attribute scaling. There's also the Golden Order Seal, which got an increased attribute scaling. Clawmark Seal, increased attribute scaling. And Dragon Communion Seal, increased attribute scaling. Now we have skill adjustments. Kick, increase the poised amount when using the skill. Spinning Slash, decrease the status buildup of your weapon when using this skill. Storm Assault, decrease the poise generation speed. Storm Caller, decrease the poise generation speed. Storm Stomp, decrease the poise generation speed. Glint Blade Phalanx, decreased poise damage. Loretta's Slash, decrease the poise generation speed. Bloody Slash, decrease the poise generation speed. Then we have Strong Shot, increase the speed of some attacks. Sky Shot, increase the speed when doing consecutive attacks. Enhanced Shot, increase the speed of some attacks. Parry, increase parry hitbox generation speed. Storm Wall, increase parry hitbox generation speed. Same thing with Thop's Barrier. Buckler Parry added an attack recovery time after using the skill. Taker's Flames, decrease the fire's poise damage and removes the fire's knocking down effect. Moonlight Greatsword, increase the poise damage of heavy and charge attacks but decrease the poise damage of the generated magic wave. Thundercloud Form, decrease poise damage. Magma Shower, decrease the poise generation speed. Thunderstorm, decrease damage. Bubble Shower, decrease damage and poise damage. I Command Thee, Kneel, increase the poise value during the active part of the skill, but decrease the poise generation speed. Blood Boon Ritual, decrease the generated status buildup. Loretta's Slash, decrease the poise generation speed. Bear Witness, increase damage and poise damage. Alright, now we have some bug fixes. In the inventory menu, added the amount of FP consumed for skills in the Ash of War display information. Reduced the time it takes for some gestures to become cancelable by rolling. Adjusted the input speed in some menus such as conversation menus to prevent accidental skips. Fixed a bug that caused damage to the player in friendly summons when using the last right skill under specific circumstances. Fixed a bug that caused higher than expected poise damage when performing left-handed attacks with thrusting swords. Fixed a bug with Spinning Slash skill that generated poise when used with twin blades. Fixed a bug in the Queen's Black Flame skill. fixed a bug where the characteristics of some weapons were not working properly against mounted enemies, fixed a bug that caused bleed buildup when using the spinning strike skills while under the effect of blood flame blade skill even if the attack did not hit the enemy, fixed a bug that caused some skill to perform incorrectly when specific actions were performed, fixed a bug that caused unexpected behaviors when some incantations were used in quick succession, fixed a bug where the spectral steed did not trigger a death fall under certain circumstances, fixed a bug that prevented players from getting hit by other players under certain circumstances in multiplayer, fixed a bug in the Coliseum that would allow critical hits against players in specific death animations, fixed a bug where the Mimic's Veil effect was not properly reflected to other players under certain circumstances, fixed a bug that caused other players summoned as hunters to immediately return after being summoned under certain circumstances, fixed a bug in multiplayer where some spirits could be locked on even after they disappeared, improves multiplayer stability under certain circumstances, fixed a bug that caused specific maps to render differently than under certain circumstances, fixed a bug where the damage of some equipped weapons were incorrectly displayed in various menus, fixed a bug that prevented marking sites of grace in under the map menu in certain circumstances, fixed a bug where item names and the cursor were not displayed correctly in the inventory menu under certain circumstances, fixed a bug where event actions were available while being in the map menu, and fixed a bug in the map menu that caused specific terrains to be displayed differently from the actual terrain. Now, these are the Steam-only adjustments. Change the initial layout of key settings in keyboard and mouse settings in the system menu. Note, if you have created save data before this update, your layout will not be affected. Fix the bug where the mouse cursor would blink in the title menu, causing the game to be unstable under certain circumstances. And fix the bug where a submenu with no items would be displayed after right-click during the tutorial. Alright, so quickly before we wrap up the video, let me just give you my thoughts. First of all, we have to talk about the horse in the room, and that is the ability to summon Torrent during the Elden Beast boss fight. I think that it will take a lot of the frustration out of the fight, but it will also bring some new challenges because some abilities will be so easily dodged with the horse. For example, the one where the Elden Beast summons 2 rings and you have to jump over the rings. So that will be much easier with the horse. But some other attacks, you would be better off getting off the horse before the attacks come in, such as the sword slashes. So I think it will add some complexity and it will also remove some frustration. So I guess I would have to fight the beast with the horse first to give you my final thoughts on that. I'm not too sure if it's going to make the fight much easier or just less frustrating. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. As for the balance patches, obviously here there's one design, there's one goal, is to make strength weapons great again. And I'm cool with that. I'm cool with making the strength weapons stronger in PvP because it takes a lot of planning to get a hit off a greatsword on an enemy. It's much harder to do than if you're using a quick weapon, for example. So I think the payoff should be there. Now, that's it for the video. Regarding the content moving forward, there will be some early area spoilers. So I will be focusing on the early areas at first, but there will be spoilers of those areas. So if you don't want to be spoiled in any way, shape, or form, then you're better off just avoiding my videos and probably everybody's videos, to be honest. But I will focus on the main early areas and will not spoil any of the endgame bosses whatsoever. I'm gonna take my time with it, going to be playing it as I make content. So don't worry about getting spoiled of the names of the major final bosses or pictures. There's some channels you should really avoid. For example, Shirako is definitely going to post a thumbnail with the final boss within the next couple hours because that's what he does every single time. Boss fight database. So avoid those channels if you don't want to get spoiled. Alright, so thanks so much for watching. In some cases, the wait is over, and in some other cases, the wait is almost over, and I'll see you guys in the Lands of the Shadow.